We got Colby Covington back here on the program. He's going to be fighting for the interim UFC welterweight title coming up here at UFC 225 on June 9th. He's going to be taking on Rafael Dos Anjos. Colby, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, what's up, man? I'm doing great. Just the king of chaos out here in South Florida, living the American dream.
Yeah, king of chaos is an understatement. You've been always in the news, Colby. It's never a dull moment in the MMA world with you. First, I want to start with last week at the Camp Soda event. You had that run-in with Felony Charles Bennett. What happened there? How did that get together as far as the scuffle?
That was actually John Jones. He just got off one of his crack binges, out of his cocaine binges. So, he tried to take a swing at me, and unfortunately, my impeccable reflexes dodged it. But John Jones needs to stay in his lane. Okay.
And I know Mike Perry was there as well. What is that beef going with you and Mike Perry? It seems like it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, there's not really a beef there, if you call, there's different levels to this. See, the thing with Mike Perry is he's going to be fighting in Indian casinos by the end of the year, while I'll have the UFC gold belt around my waist.
Okay. Interesting. And then I just found out about this one today. What's going on with you and Bubba Jenkins? He was telling me that there's some issue with you and him, something from Instagram. What's up with that?
I don't know who that is, so I don't know anything about that.
Okay, fair enough. I got to ask, who are the two girls you've been posing with a lot? We've seen them, making the rounds on Instagram.
I mean, which ones? I got a different girl for each day of the week, James.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, so where are they coming out of the woodwork? Where are you finding these girls?
Oh, I mean, South Florida is the home for the most beautiful women in the world. So, I got a different girl on the schedule for each day of the week. I'm fighting a 5-round title fight versus RDA, so I got to make sure my cardio's up. So I've been putting in a lot of work in the bedroom, James. I'm going to be in great shape come June 9th.
Okay, so you just revealed your secret. I guess that's how you got to get in good cardio shape. You got to just have multiple partners and go all night, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's been crazy, man. My stamina is at an all-time high. I feel like I'm unstoppable. I mean, I could go 20 rounds if I needed to go. The threesomes and foursomes I've been having with just chicks is insane, man. I'm putting in 2 hours of work, just nonstop pressure and pace in the bedroom. So it's going to be too much for RDA. He's going to get retired on June 9th.
Were you expecting this as far as a title shot next? You haven't fought since the Maya fight, but did you feel like if you waited it out, something big was going to happen like this?
Oh, yeah. I knew it was only a matter of time, I mean, my resume speaks for itself. No, in the top of the division, no one's done what I've done, the credentials I have. So, I knew the title shot was coming. I called it before the Maya fight. Once I beat Maya, I was getting the title shot. So, I've been calling my shots since the beginning, and I'm getting the welterweight title, just like I said before.
And how do you feel like you match up against Dos Anjos? He's coming off a big win himself over Robbie Lawler.
I feel like I match up very well. He's a little nerd. He doesn't really have any real skills for welterweight. He's beat a couple guys that, were coming off losses that it's a padded record. But, all the people and critics that are saying that, he's this welterweight unstoppable, these are all the people that are leading to a bloodbath. These guys don't understand. These are the same people that are going to be saying, oh, RDA was an oversized lightweight. He should have never been at welterweight. So, they're giving him a false sense of security going into this fight. And, after I finish him, they're going to be the same people that say he should have been at lightweight the whole time.
Speaking of security, they moved this fight from Brazil to Chicago. When did you find out about that? Was this like immediately after the McGregor thing, or when did that sort of happen?
No, it was before. It had nothing to do with the McGregor incident. They wanted this glorious moment in American history to happen on U.S. soil. The filthy animals in Brazil didn't deserve it.
Fair enough. You forgot your suit in Brooklyn, and we were talking about this. How did that happen with you going to the press conference? Because we were trying to link up when you were in Brooklyn.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, dude. As soon as I got to Brooklyn, man, I forgot my suit back in Florida. So, I had to rush to the suit store and get a suit. Big shout out to my boy, what's his name? Jeff Boris and Lloyd over at Ballinger Group. Those guys helped me out, man. I got a lot of respect for those guys.
Good stuff. How's the training camp going? Who've been some of your main guys that have been helping you get ready for this fight?
Oh, man, training camp's been phenomenal. I got a different girl for each day of the week. I haven't been putting in much work in the gym, but, it's not going to make a difference. RDA doesn't have anything that I haven't seen before. I've trained with the best fighters in the world, Jorge Masvidal, Dustin Poirier, Mike Brown. I got great training partners. Gleason Tebow, a guy that beat RDA. So, I'm going to be well prepared for RDA and anything he throws at me on June 9th.
And I know Tony Martin's joined your team, and he says he really likes training with you. It seems like he's been a nice addition to the squad.
Oh, dude, Tony Martin's been a great addition. That guy's, he's just a wizard. He's very smart, intelligent. He's a hard worker. He's back in the gym. He's training 2 days after his fight. That's unheard of. Most guys, they're taking a week or two off, but, he's a competitor and he loves to work hard. So, his energy is really good to have in the room, and he's definitely taken everybody to a new level, including myself.
And as far as the weight cut and all that, you mentioned, the multiple sexual partners. I'm sure you're getting a lot of, weight cutting through that. But, is the diet, is that all going well? How's all that ahead of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I'm raw American steel and twisted sex appeal. So, all these late nights with these chicks, we've been putting in a lot of work. I'm already on weight. I'm ready to make weight tomorrow. So that's not going to be an issue. My cardio is on a whole nother level. And I mean, look at these abs. I mean, they're freaking, those are freaking sharp, man. Look at that, man. I mean, wow. That's a lot of fucking pumping I'm doing with these chicks.
Did you have to alter your training camp at all with the fact the fight got moved?
No, not really. I'm not like one of these fighters who, they fight and then they take some time off and then they wait for the next opportunity. I'm in shape year round, man. I don't drink. I don't party. I live this lifestyle. So, this is all I do, man. So, if we wanted to fight tomorrow, I'll be ready to fight him tomorrow. If we had to fight, it doesn't matter what the date is of the fight. I'll be there on any date and I'll be ready in the best form of Colby Covington.
And how do you see this fight playing out on June 9th?
If we get the steroid version of RDA, it'll probably take me in the second or third round to finish him. But, if we get the regular RDA, he's leaving out in a stretcher. And that's a spoiler for you since I've been spoiling everything lately. That's a spoiler for you. RDA will leave the octagon in a stretcher come June 9th. And I will go back to South Beach to all my chicks and beautiful women with 10 pounds of gold around my waist.
You mentioned spoilers earlier. You had the Star Wars spoiler, and the most recent one you had was the Infinity Wars one. What had the bigger backlash? This most recent one or the one before that?
Definitely the Star Wars one had the bigger backlash. A lot more nerds and virgins out there are into Star Wars than Avengers. So, I got a lot of heat from that. But both of them, they got a lot of heat. They did the job. Everybody wants to see me get knocked out now. So, thank you for tuning in to pay-per-view and buying my ticket to want to watch me lose. But it's not going to happen. No one's stopping me right now. This campaign and movement of Nerd Bash, it can't be stopped, man. No nerd is safe. And, I'm handing out swirlies, wedgies, and taking everybody's lunch money. I'm the bully of the UFC.
Has the UFC told you that the winner of this fight will get to fight Woodley next? Because now we're hearing that he might be fighting Nate Diaz on that August card.
That's fake news about him and Nate Diaz. He's just looking to steal the spotlight and steal the headlines. He's trying to draw the attention away from me. Everybody knows Woodley's next for me. He's got nowhere to run and hide anymore. Once I get the interim belt, I'm going to go bitch slap him with the interim belt and get my undisputed belt. So, that's fake news about him and Nate Diaz.
What was your reaction to Conor McGregor and all the madness that happened in Brooklyn? Where did you find out, first of all? Like, where were you?
I was actually getting on a plane to go to New York when it happened. And, he's a coked up little leprechaun. It's funny how, as soon as I put out a tweet that I was King Colby the Bounty Hunter was coming after him, he turned himself in. He knows that he doesn't want my hands to have to get dirty on him. He knows what would happen. I would literally dunk that nerd underwater and make him quit. So, it's a good thing he turned himself in before I got to New York, because it wouldn't have been good for him.
I heard that there's going to be extra security for you for this event. Can you confirm this? That's sort of the rumblings right now because of the everything that's going into this fight.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be extra security. Luckily, my manager Dan Lambert, he has so much money and all the money in the world that he's hired some armed security guards for me. So we just want to make sure there's no drama or distractions. Obviously I'm the biggest name in the game right now, so everybody's trying to come out of the woodwork and try and take shots at me and get attention and they're trying to use my name to put themselves out there. So, I definitely will have security for that, thankful to Dan Lambert. And, no one's going to put a finger on me before the fight. I get paid a lot of money to fight in the octagon. I'm not a street thug.
You and Dan have been involved in, Impact Wrestling and all that. Have you been paying attention to Ronda Rousey over in wrestling? Have you been watching it at all?
Yeah, I've been watching it. She's marking out, man. WWE did not pay her to to go over there and mark out and the way she's acting, you know. To go and be the Ronda that we all know from the UFC, the one that, you know, gets in girls' faces and, you know, creates controversy and drama. But, you know, she's acting like a mark, and she's really ruined it for UFC fighters, and she's giving us a bad name, and it sucks because I look forward to crossing over to WWE in the near future.
Yeah, and is there any talks about you going back to Impact at all? Because I know you did a little bit earlier last year.
Yeah, there's been some talks, but, you know, I'm too busy focused on the UFC right now. I got a belt to win. I got women to sleep with, so, you know, I don't really have a lot of time in my schedule right now. My schedule is jam-packed, so, you know, if WWE comes calling, you know, you'll definitely see me making, you know, an appearance at SummerSlam. Interesting.
So has there been talks with WWE?
Little talks, you know, but, you know, we gotta get my belt around my waist first, and then the talks are going to get a lot more heated.
It's UFC 225 coming up here on June 9th. Colby, it's always good talking to you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, check me out at Colby Cov MMA if you want to see the most entertaining dude in the game. I mean, all these other dudes, they're not doing it right, man. I'm making the UFC great again. You know, whether you hate me or love me, you're entertained by me, and I'm definitely giving your life a lot more joy. Or you can come to my page and vent about me, and that's just as good because you can let your frustrations out. I'm willing to take them. Just leave a comment in my Instagram box. But, you know, no nerves safe, man. This movement will not be stopped, and I look forward to dunking RDA's head in the middle of the United Center, just like Michael Jordan. He used to dunk on dudes in the United Center. You know, that's the same thing. I'm going to be dunking my nuts on RDA's head. So tune in, pay-per-view, June 9th, live from the United Center.